Hey, welcome back to the show. Had a number of emails asking me what I thought about the hate crime legislation that seems to be working its way through Congress. The House of Representatives up in Washington passed a provision in a new crime bill that makes a number of new crimes hate crimes. And so what it means is that you're punished once for the crime, and then you're punished again because it's in a category of hate crimes, whether it be gender, race, someone who's disabled. All that comes into the area of hate crimes. And the caveat here, or the thing that is so much different than any other crime we have, is you got to get in someone's mind. You got to know what they think. And maybe something they said a few years back or something like that indicates that maybe you have a bias against the individual that makes it a hate crime. I have a problem with that, and I'm certainly for strong criminal laws. If someone robbed a bank or murdered someone, or whatever the crime may be, and you don't think the penalties are heavy enough, then Congress or the legislature should increase the penalties. But to go and make a decision that you're going to look into someone's motive in their mind is something that, quite frankly, disturbs me. I think it smacks of Big Brother getting into your mind. I think there's some First Amendment considerations there, some 14th Amendment when it's done by one state versus another state. And I personally have some problems with the hate crime legislation. Again, I'm for sticking it to the criminal as tough as you want to be. But to single out an individual, I mean, what difference is it that I rob you for your money, or I rob you because I just don't like the fact that you went to Tulane rather than LSU, or the fact that maybe your gender, I don't like you because you're black, I don't like you because you're white. All those issues are there. The fact remains that whether I like you or not, whatever my motives, I did the crime, and therefore I need to do the time. I think it should be set in that context, and it concerns me, like I say, in the First Amendment provisions, to where you're prohibiting someone from expressing themselves, whether you like what they say or not, and whether you're getting into their mind and maybe abusing that seance of determining what they think. There was a case in Ohio, for example, that accused someone of a hate crime against a particular individual, and they went back 6 years where the person had said some derogatory racial things against that person 6 years ago, or maybe newspapers that they read. You're getting to a real murky area here that disturbs me as a lawyer, as an individual citizen, and I think it's wrong. Now, having said that, I think it's going to pass Congress. The House of Representatives overwhelmingly passed it. I think the Senate's going to pass this legislation, and I think that President Obama has already said he's going to support the legislation. So, as a consequence, you're going to see it pass. It's going to be interesting to see what the courts do. My gut reaction is, and we've got a conservative court to begin with, that I often take issue with. But I think in this case, the Supreme Court's going to look at the First Amendment, the 14th Amendment, look at this whole haberdash of activity involving hate crime, and throw this provision out. I hope they do. I'm surprised the American Civil Liberties Union is for the hate crime legislation. I thought they were standing up for individual freedoms and leaving the individual alone. They've chosen in their wisdom to oppose this legislation. So I disagree with what the House said. That's just my opinion. I'm sure some people will violently disagree with me, but I just have a problem of punishing someone for the crime and then someone for what's in their mind, and who's to say what's in their mind. I don't trust the powers that be to look into your mind, my mind, and tell me what we're thinking. If you don't like what they did, make it a crime and punishment for it, but don't get in their head. That's my thoughts. I just passed it on to you. Be right back.